Hi, Patrick here from Half Cheetah Willview, and welcome to week one of Sharks versus Schlock 2. This is a series that I'm doing, a collaboration I'm doing with my friend Eric from Hey Internet. It's Eric. Whereas I sent him four very cool shark movies, and he sent me, well, allegedly, he sent me four really crappy schlocky movies. But we both had fun with it last year. But we noticed that we each sent the other one a really cool movie as well. It wasn't just five movies from hell. It was like four bad ones and one good one to end the week on. Uh, but this time we said we're gonna go for blood, right? We're gonna go ahead and get the four shittiest movies. So but it looks like it looks like me and Eric, we just couldn't do that to each other because I sent him a fun movie. I sent him a movie that I think he'll like. I think he'll appreciate. And he sent me this movie that I'll be talking about. And it's a very fun movie. Holy crow, fun. Uh, and that is from 1992. It's Evil Toons. Now, I thought this was originally, when I heard this, I said, I think I've heard of this movie before, and I think it was Full Moon had put it out, but it turned out to be not so. It turned out to be AIP, I think American International Pictures. This is a 1992 film, as I stated, and it stars David Carradine, Dick Miller. Dick Miller was second on the call list, probably the only time in his very long career that ever happened to him that he was second on a call list. Most of the time, he's like near the bottom. Um, and it stars a group of beautiful babes. He can send me like schlock like this, all the time. I'm down with that. The cast includes uh, Monique Gabrielle. Now I knew that's the only girl I knew. I did know who Monique Gabrielle is. She was the girl in Bachelor Party that kept on knocking on Tom Hanks' door saying, "Make love to me." So I knew who that was. But the rest of the girls, I had no idea who they were. Madison Stone, Susie Adger, and Stacy Nicks, who I'm not sure if that was just a pseudonym or whatever, but she was also an adult film star at the time named Barbara Dare, who I had never heard of. Never heard of Susie either, or Madison Stone. Uh, and it also stars Artie Johnson. Artie Johnson, of all people. Comedian Artie Johnson, a pretty good comedian back in the day, in the 60s and 70s. He was very popular. He was a mainstay on a show called Laugh-In. Now, most of the people here watching this will have no idea what Laugh-In's all about. Luckily for me, I'm with you because I would only been like 3 or 4 years old when that show came on. But it was a very popular show, and Artie Johnson was one of the stars of it. So the first part of the movie is really eerie, very eerie. Um, David Carradine plays like this priest, and he's trying to ban this book of the dead or some evil book, made out of skin or whatnot. Um, and so he's trying to subdue the demon in it, and so he's like, well, maybe this is the only way I can do it is maybe if I sacrifice myself, I can stop the book from coming through and and causing havoc. So when he walks inside this old house, there's a noose waiting for him. And that's what he does. He basically he's gonna get rid of the book and he's gonna hang himself. Now the reason why this was such an eerie scene is because obviously anybody who knows David Carradine knows that is exactly how he died. He died by hanging. Whether it would have been by accident, someone said that he was a little bit kinky, Some people said maybe he had a little bit of help with that rope, and maybe they didn't want it to take it off. I'd never heard of that, but I have. I mean, I don't know anything about that. I just know that he died, I think, in Thailand, and he was found hanging in his hotel room. And so when you see him do that here in this movie, those who know, it's this movie is a comedy, horror comedy. By the way, it's not serious. It's fun. It's directed by Fred Olen Ray, so you definitely know you're gonna get two things out of this movie. One, you're gonna get three things. One, you're gonna get beautiful babes. Two, a lot of nudity, and three, you're gonna get the screams because he casts women that can scream their ass off. Part about being a scream queen, you got to be able to scream. So anyway, David Caradine plays Gideon Fisk, and he's the one that's trying to stop the evil creature in the book, and so he sacrifices himself to stop it. So later on in the present day, we see Dick Miller pull up in his van and looking a little bit shady. He gets out of his van, looks all around, and then he opens the door, and then we meet our four main leads. Now they're they're here to help. You have Monique Gabrielle plays Megan, and she's like the innocent of the four girls. And then you have Madison Stone plays Roxanne. Roxanne's a pretty free spirit. Barbara Stacy Nix, or Barbara Dare, plays Jan, and she's wise. And then you have the leader of the group, Suzanne Ager, as Terry. And so Dick Miller's character is Bert, and Bert's telling the girls, "Hey, go in there, clean up the house, clean up the building. I'll give you $100." So they're there to clean a weekend for $100, and even back in 1992, that was a chump change. Even more so today. But the girls go ahead and they get in there and they start cleaning the house. And they go down to the basement. And Terry says, "Let's go down to the basement first because, that's going to be the hardest and dirtiest part of the cleanup. So why don't we get it done first? Then we can relax a little bit more during the weekend." So the other three agree. So they go down in the basement, and they go down in the basement and they find this strange dagger. And so, what's this? And they don't know what it is. And then that night, after they're relaxing, lo and behold, they get a knock on the door, and it's Gideon. But he is not here in the flesh. It's just like his ghost. But he's cursed because he hung himself. He delivers the book that he's been trying to defeat, but he hands the book to the girls. And the girls look at the book and they say, "Hey, this is weird." Think of the Necrodont Comic Con, right? That's what it's sort of like. And it shows some bizarre monsters, and they're getting frisky with all sorts of people in the book, and then Stone reads the incantation, reads the spell, and that, of course, that causes the demon that lives in the book to come out, and the demon is a living cartoon, evil Toons, right? So there is some animation here in the movie, and the creature then attacks Roxanne. Roxanne's the first to go, and how he does that, he takes over her body. He invades her body, and then proceeds to basically kill everybody else, one by one, including some boyfriends, including Bert, including Jen and Terry, and of course, it's all done with like I said, a lot of nudity. So only Meg is left, and she's sort of like the virgin. So of course, she's going to have some help. And lo and behold, who comes back but Gideon? He has come back to help Megan. He needed a pure heart to help him kill this creature, so he could come back, get his salvation, and then float upstairs. And that's what happens. They go ahead and they stop this creature. They stab it, and well, first Gideon looks like he's going to get overpowered, but then Megan comes and helps him, and she ends up and they stab the creature. It comes out of Roxanne's body, and before it can get back into the book to regenerate, Megan throws the book inside the fireplace and burns it, and that causes the creature to be wiped out from existence. How about that? Then we also meet Mr. Hinslow, who's been who had came in earlier in the movie. Basically, he says, "I just want to see all your faces so I know what you look like, in case I have to tell the police. I have to identify you, because it seems the house has been haunted and has had all sorts of spooky things happen in it." At the end of the movie, Gideon he leaves. He says thank you, and he's able to. His job is finished on Earth, and he's able to go to heaven. That's what it's implied. And then Mr. Hinslow comes by, and the next morning to see everybody has come back. When the creature died, everybody that he had killed was resurrected. Nice. That was a good touch. I like that. I like that a lot. It's like, it's a comedy. So, you expect that, something fun like that, because you don't want to see all these people die. But he comes back, and he's providing breakfast, and he also brought a portable TV because it's Saturday morning. What goes best with a Saturday morning breakfast? Saturday morning cartoons. Now, of course, Megan's going through all that hell, and the last thing she wants to see is a cartoon, and she turns to the camera and she just lets loose this terrific scream, and then we fade to black. Wow. Fun movie. I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a throwback to the early 90s when Skinamax was king. Movies like this were shown on Skinamax, on the nightly. Fred Olen Ray, Jim Warnowski, Zalman King, they were kings of directing movies like this. Trauma, to a lesser effect, also featured a lot of gratuitous nudity. One of the things I found out, I didn't know who Barbara Dare was until Eric told me. He says, Barbara Dare was his favorite porn star. I'm going like, okay, I never heard of her. So did a little poking around, and wow, she was a popular girl, but she walked into several bear traps, became heavily addicted to drugs and alcohol, and including heroin. But luckily, fortunately, she did the work and broke free. And is now, from what I read, she is a counselor, a drug and alcohol counselor. So she helps a lot of people. That's great. Like I said, David Caradine passed away. Dick Miller, who played Bert, God, that guy was in everything. Maybe you guys might remember him mostly from the first Terminator. He was the gun dealer. Where Arnold went in there and ordered all the guns, and he was the guy who was supplying the guns. And that's probably the most famous role that he's done. But he did hundreds of movies. He was like he was like the original guy to come in for a day, do a scene, and get out. But he never really got the star power that he stars. He was just a solid, dependable character actor that did everything. Everybody used Dick Miller. And of course, like I mentioned about who Arte Johnson was. Also had an appearance by Michelle Bauer, who played Bert's wife, and she's just now coming back into the public's eye. She was away for many, many years, but now she's coming back. She's starting to make public appearances and whatnot. So, that's good to see. Fred Olen Ray, he has actually done he's done other movies for Sci-Fi Channel, and he has also done some Hallmark movies. That's right. Fred Olen Ray has done a lot of Hallmark movies. His son Chris Olen Ray is still doing the family business. He's still doing horror films and thrillers and whatnot. Um, so for a Schlock movie, I definitely would have to give this a big thumbs up. This was enjoyable. And you know the girls were pretty, and it was a great setting, and it was good to see David Caradine again, playing a good guy role. He was always impressive as that. Um, so yeah, I gave this a big thumbs up. And if this is what I can expect for the rest of the month of Sharks vs. Schlock 2, I'll be a happy camper. But Eric has assured me that this is the only break I'm getting. Well, it's okay because Malibu Shark Attack is the only break you're getting. Because I got 3 turkeys in here that I guarantee you'll be doing 20-minute reviews plus and letting me have it. All right. That's it. So drop a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of if you've ever seen Evil Toons. Uh, uh, Drop a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button and hit the notification bell whenever you see one of these come through. And I'll be dropping my review. We only have a week to do it. Once we get told what we're doing, we only have a week to get the review up and running. So mine's going up tonight, and you guys can watch it on Monday. It'll come on at about 4 o'clock on Monday, right after Dollar Theater. All right. Thanks so much for watching, and we will talk to you soon for the second movie. Peace.